My name is Adebinkwe Adebambo. What I've noticed is that generally when all these tech events happen, it's always people that are coding, programming and all. I hardly ever see animation, and that's why I even came, because I work in animation, but all these conversations mostly is like, you don't maybe reckon with us, or like you don't know us, or maybe you've not like done research, because even when you go to schools or go to places, it's always about programming, coding, robotics and all of that. So what exactly is it? Is it that it's a lack of knowledge about the fact that animation is also technology, or you've not really seen many people working in that field? Because there is this organization in the States, Women in Animation. The target is 50-50 by 2025. So that by 2025 we should have an equal number of women working in animation as same as men, because this whole sexist thing, like cuts across all the industry. So that's the question, I want to add, because I saw her downstairs at another session for women, and I said, okay, I had bookmarked your session, to come, but it's something that is occurrent. Anytime there's any panel like this, I never see any animation, like person in it. So what's the reason? Thank you.
Okay, to answer the question, I think if I heard you well, you've observed the problem. So I think the first question I'll pose is, what are you doing about this? To be very honest, I stay in Ibadan, but I've not heard of any women in animation program, or a program meant for women in animation. Before machine learning and data science started from women, it's been here a long time ago. But women stood up and said, no, we need to start our own women in machine learning programs, women in data science programs. So my question to you, have you brought up a small graduate that, okay, I want to bring...
Yes, I had a session 2 days ago, and interestingly, talking about blowing trumpet, I'm the first person who in the 8 years of this social media week is having a screening of animation short films in the cinema. So I got 5 films from all over Africa, including mine, to screen, and there was also a roundtable discussion. Also in this social media week,
we are coming to support you.
I was the only one that got students to come, because I'm very much about this start them young. I'm starting animation clubs in schools. I've also encouraged my colleagues, in your locale, look for schools you can go, because we have to start from the little ones. So yes, I'm doing all my bit, and if you Google my name, I'm doing a lot within the African and Nigerian animation space, both as a practitioner and on the intellectual and writing side. So I'm doing a lot.
I mentioned that in one of our academies, we do training on graphics and animation. We do that in our Cardinal Academy. So I'm more than happy to collaborate with you. We have a little number of girls in that track, but maybe when they see more women, so talking about, we don't see women. So bring all of us here on board. We're happy to spread the news and do more with you.
Thank you so much for that comment. The action
agency. So just to add to what she said and also ask the question, my problem is, I feel like a lot of time when we talk about building technology and we talk about talking to young people and telling them to get into different career paths and everything, and then there's always this tendency that we seem not to tell them how to sell whatever it is that they're trying to build. So you mentioned that when you go to schools, you hear people say they want to be caterers, they want to be this, they want to be that, and just tell them, what about doing engineering and all that. I think it's very fantastic, but there's also a need to also tell people that they can also have careers in selling these products and selling this technology. So it's not just about building. For me, that's what I think it is. I just always have this. It's just always at the back of my mind. Why is it that we only just talk about going into this field? So, for example, when you're done with school, when you're through your education and everything, when you go into the career world, you don't just go up there and start, building products. First, you probably have to deal with customers that are already using a product you're working for, a service you're doing, or you have.
I've seen society stereotype women to learn the softer skills of technology than the hard skills, and I think that's the reason why you have people sidestepping digital marketing, animation, and all of those things. I think that when we talk about technology, there are two sides to it. The first side is the technical, systematic part of building the hardware part of technology. The second side is the soft skills you need around promotion and all of that. you need to first have a product that you want to sell for you to sell anything. First, I think that animation would be classified under the category of the creative industry than people would see it as a technical industry. That's a general opinion, it's not my opinion. That's what I'm saying. It's not my opinion, it's a general opinion, because the world is moving on from building technology to building technology that solves problems. So it's not just about, so if you build a machine learning framework like Ubenwa, which uses the tail of a day-old baby to identify the presence of asphyxia before you administer drugs in that baby, and then you can save the lives of tons of children. That project will definitely get the support 100 times before you think of an animation project. And that's the truth. It doesn't mean that animation is not as important as that, but the world is moving on from simple. We build so much hardware and software in the world, but the world is now talking about how do we use this technology we are building to solve our critical problems. So that's the reason why people, and I find that for women,